Sorry, everyone. Um, it's one of those glitches. Technology can never be overemphasized. It's just one of those glitches in Okay, everyone, welcome back. It's time up for the break. I'll give you guys another 2 minutes, maybe three, so that we enable you to get ready. And before we start, so let me reset our timer again for 3 minutes. Okay, let's make it 5 minutes. Very simple. Okay, well, before we start, I'll be displaying some social media connects. Kindly add up Halogen Group on all. So Halogen Group is actually different from the Halogen Academy, which some of you might have added before. So kindly add up Halogen Group, which is the overall body of Halogen. So you can just add those up on all the 5 social media platforms that is being displayed on the screen right now. So we have 5 minutes to get everybody seated, and we'll continue from where we stopped. Thank you. All right, so it's time up. Let's get down to business. Where did we stop? Apologies for the network glitch that we had just a few moments before the break. Um, yeah, that's one of the things about technology. No matter how much you try to make it run smoothly, some things just go. At least we don't have control over the internet service provider, which was the major issue we had. Mm, So yeah, probably we got some limitations due to the Tor browser we're using. But anyway, let's go on with what we have right now. Um, so where were we? So these are all the sites. Let's not go over this again. I'll just do a brief summary of what we were doing before we had that glitch. And so yeah, well, I'm sure most of you understand what we have been doing since. So there might be no reason to continue so deeply. But well, this is just to give you an understanding of how um, of what your credit card details or whatever might have been stolen from the web can be used or can be sold. So that's one of the advantages of the Tor browser. Please use it wisely. So that'll be it. Um, can you see? If you want to rent a hacker, this is one of the places where you can get one. Technical skills, 0-day exploit, blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's it. So I think we're good with Tor. I think we're good with Tor. I told you guys if you have any issue, just shoot us an email, or you can shoot me an email that's on LinkedIn, and I will surely respond. I'm sure some of you might have been seeing my response. I'll try my best to keep my response at least within 24 hours. Sometimes almost instantly. Yeah. So I try my best to do that. So next on our list is so this was something from Thor, most likely. Next on what we're supposed to do today is installing some tools. The next tool we'll be installing will be VirtualBox. So we could install Kali Linux. So what I would do basically is what I'll basically do now is to get is to get us to download VirtualBox. So we go here the same way we did for the Tor browser. We just use a Google search, but actually VirtualBox can be got to. I mean, you can get VirtualBox from virtualbox.org, but let's do a Google search for everybody so we're all on the same page and there's nothing too hidden. So let's just do download VirtualBox. Same rule applies here also. Go with the first one, .org. Please don't download from all these other sites. Don't download from all these sites. You know, I explained to you that some of those free download websites, what they do is that they cover up your download with some other malware or spyware or anything. So please go to it's free. So why don't just download it from the original source? Maybe if it's a paid app that costs maybe like $1,000 or $500 to renew, then it might be a little bit understandable. But for a free app, please just go straight to the direct port, download it. So this is it. Click on this. So basically, there are two softwares you can, more than two actually, but there are two that are well known, or that is well known. The first one is VirtualBox, is free and open source, and there's another one called VMware. So let's do a Google search again. Let's go to google.com. Yeah, we'll do a Google search of say download VMware. So there is actually, so this is it. there's a free version of VMware, which is okay. So I'll come back to this. Let's get done with the virtual box so that because it will be down, it will take some time to download. So while that downloads, I'll come back to virtual VMware. So this is the virtual box. This is how the page looks on intro. I mean, on these are the page looks on the website. For those of you that have been following this course, you remember I told you when you're downloading it from some trusted websites or from some advanced websites, they will give you what is called a checksum. So you see, this is what I told you, hashes. So you see, it has a checksum. So for instance, if we're not sure, but we don't have that time, you can download the checksum first and then have it before you now go and download the main distribution. So we have um different packages depending on the platform where you want to install it. So, but I'm using the Windows OS, so I'll choose the Windows one. So that is it. It's going to download in few seconds. And let's see. That will get downloaded in few seconds. So once it's done downloading, we'll install it. But funny enough, this particular machine I'm using already has VirtualBox running on it. And so I will just go over all the installation screenshots before we come back here. So um, so I'm using Windows, but for those of you that are already on, I got some messages saying, oh, we're using Ubuntu, I'm using Mac OS. So please just follow the similar instructions, just like installing almost every regular application. Just follow the download instructions and install. So this download is complete. We'll click on it. Was that too fast? Okay. So we come here, downloads, click on it, and it asks you the usual question: do you want to? And I say yes. Preparing the installer. You go on next. This is normal installation. This is all the things you need. Verify the folder where you want it to install. You click next. Create shortcuts. Register file association. You do all that. Click next. Proceed with the installation, and then you click yes. Do next again for install, and your installation will start. But in this case, I already have VirtualBox running on my machine, so I will not install it the second time. So I'll just cancel. I'll just cancel. So if you're using VM in this case, the thing is that VM is a closed source, so it's not free. VM is not free, so that is it. You need a license key for it. You need a license key for it. So you can download a free trial, well, if you want to, but it's paid. And so most of us, we like free things in hacking tools for hacking. So this one now is paid. We might not want to download it. But if you like, this is the checksum I explained to you yesterday. When it downloads, you have to verify it. This is the same thing. So that is it anyway. So we have VMware and we also have Oracle Box. The virtual Oracle is made by Oracle. So you understand in case I say Oracle Box. So that is it. It's been installed. Let's assume it's been installed. The next thing we need to do is, okay, I'll slow down a little bit for those that might still be trying to install it. So the next thing you might want to do for those that are, I told you yesterday to download it. So I believe some other people might have had it downloaded already. So the next thing we might want to do is to download the same way we searched for the VirtualBox in the Tor browser. We search for our Kali Linux machine. So Kali Linux is the most advanced, one of the most advanced penetration testing resources out there. So it's open source. It's good for security research, computer forensics, reverse engineering, penetration testing, and a whole lot. So if you want to download, so what does it do? Can install, you can actually install Kali Linux on your phone. I'll show you that now. So that is it. That's a Kali Net Hunter. That's the one for the phone. You want to install it on your phone. That is what you click. So let's do download. And this will take us to this page. Choose the bare metal installation, since we're installing it on our machine. So there are two ways you can actually install your Kali Linux. You can install it in a virtual box. You can, in fact, three ways. You can install it in a flash drive, and then you can install it on your base machine. When I say base machine, it will be running like your Windows operating system. So when you start up your system, it will ask you what you want. Do you want us to install it on your, I mean, it will ask you which operating system you want to use before you go ahead. So let's say click on bare metal. 64-bit most times is the general one. So some people might have, depending on your kind of network, you might choose the torrent download or you choose the direct download. If you have torrent installed, you can go with torrents. That's for people that have inconsistent network. You can see it's downloading. It should take us over 1 hour. It's very large. It's 3 gig. Take us over 1 hour. So I can leave that running while I check my system for where I have Kali. I mean, I have it somewhere on my system. I'll just look for it on my machine. So let's do Kali Linux. I hope I still have it somewhere. Because to be sincere, I didn't check for it for this. Let me just go through my. Nice. So I found it somewhere on my machine. So what I would do is I'm going to, I will show you how to install it. The truth is I don't want us to waste time waiting for that download to finish. So what we're going to do now is to use the one I have already downloaded somewhere on my system. So let me just show you. Let's locate it together. That is the folder, Kali Linux. This is it over here. Of let's assume your virtual box has already been installed. So over here I have, and I told you this is a lab environment. In fact, my other system has several or more of these on it. So several operating systems. So we have the Kali Linux. I have Parrot OS is also another very good Linux distribution that is for hacking and penetration testing. Also, I have Kali Linux. I have CSI Linux, which is used for social media investigation. We have Ubuntu. I have Windows 10X, Windows 10 Pro. I have Windows Server. I have Windows 7. You can install all these on one machine. That's the truth. So I use it for test purpose. Before I go into any real site, I recreate that system and then attack. So I test all my exploits before going into a live environment. So if you want to install your new download, let's assume that what we are downloading here has finished downloading. So what we can do is just leave it the way it is. You leave it the way it is. And so I had to stop that because I already have it. So you leave it the way it is. And the next thing you look for is to come down here to where the folder is. Fine. Let's just know where the folder is. Then we'll come here and then click on new. Are you seeing that? Click on new and then we'll name it anything, name it Kali Linux for Free training. Mhm. I can name it anything. You can see it already shows us the type of operating system. Oracle, fine. But this is where I will have a little problem because my SSD is full. So I'll come here, click other. Just this is if you have enough space on your computer, just leave it as the default location. In my own case, I have limited space. So I'm going to do this. Click on, you can create a new browser. Let me see users, click on programs. You can create a new folder called, even in the VM, you can create a new folder called Kali. Ministry of Youth and Sport. I say, okay. Select this folder at the end. So I don't need to go through all those stress I did if you already have a folder that you have in mind or that you have been installing things before, you have enough space. You see change from drive C to drive D. The next thing you click next. What we're going to be selecting next is the memory size. Okay, let me make this a little bit neater for us. So let me group. Okay, it's not going to allow. So here you set the RAM. For instance, if you have a 20 gig, a 10 gig, 8 gig RAM, 16 gig RAM, the next thing for you to do is to allocate a few bit of RAM to these. Don't worry. Um, allocate something comfortable. Allocate something comfortable. Let's say 4 gig. 4 gig is good enough. But in your own case, you can do more, you can do less, depending on what you have remaining on your system. So I'm doing 4 gig today. Then the next thing you might want to create here is the hard disk. So it's a virtual hard disk because this is a virtual machine. And so what you do is you say, create a hard disk now. And then you go to create. The next thing is going to be asking you is what kind of hard disk files you want to do. We have the BDI, we have the VHD, and we have the VMDK. So basically anyone you choose is fine. But I always choose virtual hard disk or virtual machine disk. The next question is going to ask you whether you want that space to be dynamically allocated or you want it to be fixed. What that means is that you want the space to be changing as, sorry about that. You want it to be changing as the dynamically allocated is the one that doesn't just, for instance, now I choose 100 gig, it doesn't just pull out that 100 disk and just keep it in your virtual machine. That's dynamic. For fixed, if I fix 100, it will pull out 100 and it will maintain 100. You get all through at any point in time to maintain 100. So the next thing is dynamically allocated. Choose dynamic. Next one you're going to be doing is selecting the size you want your hard drive to be. Let me put it at 100 gig. Anything you put is fine depending on what you want to work with, what you have plans of using. And then it has been created. If you look closely, you will see our new Kali machine, which has been said named Kali machine for free cybersecurity training. I click on it's off right now, powered off. What we do is to start it up. So on a normal day, this will come up as I want it to look the way to look if you were. Okay, let's just leave it. I hope you guys are understanding it because I don't want us to go into. I've started the machine, so yeah. Creating a process. Let's wait for it. So yes, that is it. No bootable media found. Did you see that? Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So what does that mean? So one step was dodged. We jumped a step, a particular step, which I'll go back to show you why we're getting this error message. Now, I'm sure some of you will remember we downloaded Kali Linux. So now we did apply that Kali Linux to this installation. So what you do is you go to your settings, you move down to storage. I'll show you two different methods of doing this I'm about to do. This is the more difficult way. I'll show you the simpler way, but focus on these two because it's the major way. So we see that it doesn't have an ID. So what you do is you click on the empty part of it, or you can do the plus sign, whichever one you want. We'll just click on empty, come here, look for the disk image. So you say choose a disk file. I put that somewhere in my drive D, somewhere named Kali. So just look for, we all know how to search for locations of our files. And then you double click it, it comes here, you press OK, it closes. The faster method is to just click on storage from here, do the same thing, close it. The another method is to just click this, and then close it. So what we do now, we power it up and see how it responds. Hopefully we won't get the first error message that we got. So now we're booting into, so we see this is the first screen you get. It says choose an installer menu. So what we do here, we just do choose a graphic install. So it goes graphically. That's it loading. You can ignore all that. That's because we're not running it on the main system. Choose English or French or any house. If you can see Yoruba or outside there, that's what you're comfortable with. But I think generally we'll use English. So let's go with English and click continue. What's happening to my mouse? No. So that is it. Press OK or continue. Our region is Nigeria. Well, I've noticed that sometimes when I click Nigeria, we face some errors. We can still click it anyway. Configure the keyboard. Let's do American English. And installation process has started. Please pay attention to all the parameters I will be clicking here. This first part is not so necessary depending on your, I told you, you can even choose French, you can choose any language. All these ones are basic for people that are used to installing software. I told you we will not make anything complicated. We want to make sure everybody can understand. We mentioned that on the first day, this lecture is nothing too technical. Just have a knowledge of how to install softwares and you're good to go. Now, host name. We can call the host name Kali for, actually it's just the host name. So it should be one word. So let me think of one word that can relate to this training. Okay, let's still say Kali training with no space. When you do enter domain name, skip this because you're not going to be on a public computer, on a company network. The full name of the user could be Halogen Kali. You press enter. The username for the account can be Halogen. Maybe let's use, Halogen Academy. Or no need, let's just leave it at Halogen. And you press OK. Password, you probably type anything you like. Let's go with type anything you like. So let's go with let's just do password 1, 2, 3. Nothing special now. I can even show you what the password is. Let me see. I don't made any mistake. I don't know why my mouse is not working today. This is not this is not nice. This is not nice. I hope you don't experience the same issues because it might be difficult for you to troubleshoot it. I had the password pass. Passwords are not the same. If a password, just say password. Sure. Continue. Now over to the using of the disk. We'll click use entire disk. But please, if you're installing it on your base machine, don't click on this option. The only time you click on the entire disk option is when you're installing it in a virtual environment. When you're installing it in a virtual environment, if you have partitioned your system, please just install it on, use the guided disk entire. Well, so this is VirtualBox. That's the 100 gig we created. That's why we told you to use the entire disk because have no issues. All files in one partition. And then the next thing is finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Click OK. It asks you, do you want to write save changes to disk? You say yes. And then it's partitioning the disk. And now we're installing the system. This will take quite some time, depending on the speed of your machine. That's what will determine how fast this will work. So let's just wait. Don't worry, it will be fast enough. Okay, so that is it. Normally, I should have fast forwarded this video if it was pre-recorded, but it's a live session, so please just bear with us while the thing is taking this time, and we have to do this for those that like demonstration. So the next thing is to click here, just leave everything as default, and then you click on continue. But in just in case you can't follow up what we're doing, uh, uh, you can't follow up with what we're doing, just shoot me something on LinkedIn, Bankole Adekola. I'll follow up there and assist you accordingly. So the next thing for us is to click next. So you click on continue. And then this is going to install the software for us. 1 minute, 16 seconds remaining. It might be slower depending on the kind of machine you're using. So Okay, something just crossed my mind. Sort of while we wait for this to load up, let me just put you through how, or I mean, let me just put you through some of my machines that I have installed here. Let me show you how the Parrot OS looks like. I hope this Parrot OS is still valid. So let me just show you how the Parrot OS looks like. But those of you that are still battling with the Kali Linux, you can go ahead and whatever error message you have, send a mail to Info Academy. Always good to attach screenshots, or you shoot me an email that's on LinkedIn. I'll respond. It's always good to put a screenshot. So let me just continue while that is loading. For those that followed up to that point, let's just play around with this. Let me show you how Parrot OS looks like. It's the same thing with Kali Linux. It's just a different flavor. So while the Kali Linux loads, we play around with this one a little bit. So it's loading. All right, so that's the Parrot OS inside looks. It's also one of our very good hacking. Um, okay. Oh, before that, let me show you one thing. Yes. Well, let me get over with this. I'll show you something else. Oh, yeah. Just cross me right now. I don't want to open my Kali links because I will still open. I don't want to jump the boss. I'll still open it on the I'll still open it when the installation is done. Let me just check the progress of the installation right now. Okay, almost halfway. So yeah, welcome to Parrot OS. I'll be asking you what the difference you see with the Parrot OS and Kali Linux. But basically, they are the same thing. Basically, it's the same thing. Just that this is better for those that love Mac up. I mean, that use this is good for those that use Mac OS or that are familiar with Mac OS. You see the close of the buttons look very much alike, like that of Mac OS, even the color coding and all that. So here we go. This is our first command whenever we start up any of our Kali of any Linux resource. This is one of the first commands that you input. You do the apt-get update. It's just to type and okay, it's denied. Oh, I've not used this machine in a while, so I will have to. Many of you might get this error. What this means is that you need to change the permissions in the file. So that's one of the reasons why we should always leave our machines unattended to or upgraded regularly. So that's why we're getting this file. What we need to do is to change the permissions. Let's just go on. Let me not go into all this. But if you experience this error when you install your Kali Linux, just let me know. Adjust it together. We still have a session tomorrow. So before I go that, let me just tell you what I thought of that I could just share with you people that will help also rather than this because we'll still talk about these machines later. But before then, let me just quickly put you through something very, very interesting. I hope this will not distract you anyway. So, for instance, or let me just leave this to tomorrow. Let me just leave this to tomorrow. Mm, let's focus on our mission. As you can see, I'm running Parrot OS and at the same time I'm running my Kali Linux. So depending on the strength of your machine, you can do that also. But please, if you don't have a very strong RAM or a very strong machine, don't run multiple operating systems at the same time. I can still start up my Windows server if I want to. I can start up but I have a limit also. Once I start doing too many things, even my machine starts to hang, and I might just have to do a hot shutdown. So be very, very. So let me just, well, I'll still walk you through these tools. These are the tools that we have here. It comes, you see our top browser here. You can see Ethereum Bitcoin wallet comes pre-installed. These are some of the things you won't find in our Kali machine that you find in Paras OS. You see most of the used tools that I've used. Most of them I've used the Bobs, I've used Aircraft, Air Gordon. These are the information gathering tools we have. We have DNS analysis, we have intrusion detection and prevention, identification, we have live host identification using HPing 3, using a whole lot of ARP ping, and several other tools. We have the web analysis or WP scan, but that's the WordPress security scanner. So you can just click on these and scan your WordPress. Let me even see something. Maybe that I don't have internet connection on this machine. Okay, so that's fine. So a lot of people are scared of Kali machines, and that's because they believe that everything that goes on here is about command line, how they cram all these commands, several, but there's actually a course that we're developing currently, and the course is about how to use some of these Kali machines without the command line prompting. Just a few things that you might just need to put on the command line. The other things you can do graphically. You can do graphically and just use it like you're using a Windows operating system. Yeah, seriously, that's how it works. So that course will soon be out, and you will all have the access to it. This is backdoor factory. This is a penetration testing menu. Have several tools under this. Many, 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 and these are all free tools. Like it gives me joy, man. Whenever I see open source tools, they are all free. You don't need to pay dime. You don't need to pay a dime. Comes pre-installed. Let's see how far our Kali has gone. What went wrong? I'm sure it's still installing. And that's a screensaver. Yeah, it's still running, so I'm sure it's still installing. Yeah, there's one or two more configurations we have to do on this. That is why. Otherwise, I could have just opened my other Kali and then she. Oh no. I will explain all this to you later on. All right. Somebody was saying mm, Kali to the Kali installation, download file to the virtual box. So this is how you do it. I'll just go over this again. This is how you do it. So when you come here, go to storage or you go through settings. So I'll take this very slowly again because This might not be only one person experiencing this problem. Go to storage, come to settings, you go to storage, then you go to Kali. I mean, sorry, you won't find Kali there. You go to controller, you go to controller, and then you choose. When you go to controller, something will pop up here. Let me see if I can use another machine that's not currently running. Okay, let me try this, my old machine. So yeah, thank God this is even empty. So just come here. See this is the shortcut I was explaining to you the other time. Just come here, click on this optical drive. You see it empty. Choose the file disk. Locate it from wherever you have kept it. I've kept mine here. So yours might be in your download folder or something, but mine is here. So I just double click on this again, another double click, and you see that's attached. And then you click on start. Then you click on start, and then the installation process will start running. So I hope that was clear enough for those of you that might have missed that step. I think I saw somebody's comment with that regards. And then once you click on start, the next thing you do is to click on same way we did this. Just go next, continue. United States, you can choose any country, American English, to do all this. This is like a repetition, so please, but I'll be very fast with it. It's like a repetition. We do it, does all this for those that might have missed the step that we were taking or that we took. So don't worry, tomorrow's session will be purely tutorials, and it will also be like a refresher for those of you that might have missed out on a whole lot of things. So it will be a very quick recap. I'll do a very quick recap and I'll jump on. I'll continue with this. So please, everything, all the problems you're having installing this Kali Linux, please note them down, get screenshots. If you can message me or you send an email to us at info@academy.halogen, we'll respond. But please attach a screenshot where the problem lies. If it's an error message that you're getting, and if it's an issue on the steps, still let us know where you got to, why you feel you're experiencing that issue, and I'll guide you through. Send me a message on LinkedIn, Bankole Adekola. I'll respond to you as soon as I can, and that will be it. So we have promised that we'll be keeping to time henceforth, and so it's 3 o'clock. Uh, okay, let me just finish up with this process again. It's 3 o'clock, but we'll still, let's see. Can we stretch maybe 5-10 minutes extra? Host name, use your name if you like. So this time, let me just use something simple. Let me say hello, Jane, or hello. You can use your name if your name is Fini, if your name is Taiwo, if your name is anything, you can use it. Let me say continue. Domain name, leave it blank, please. Domain name, you leave it blank, please. Then you say continue. Configure network. So you can put your full name here. You can put your full name here. If your name is maybe the any name it is. maybe Tokumbo or something, and say Tokumbo, anything or whatever. Yeah. You say continue, username, you can leave it like that. Say continue, password. Don't leave your password blank. Let's say password. So this is like a repetition. I'll just take this for another 5 minutes. I'll stop when it's 15:10 or 15:15. That's 3:15. Take continue, setting on the clock. It will run like this. This is like a repetition, please. We've done all this before. Your time zone, you set it according to where you are. Sometimes you can leave it as default. You can always change all those things later on. And please remember to follow our social media pages, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Facebook, subscribe to all the social media, Instagram, and the whole lot, um, so that you don't miss out on very vital information. Okay, I didn't choose a disk drive. That's why I'm having this error. But this is a different one actually. So I was trying to rush this part of it. So tomorrow I'll just do a brief again on how to install. But please, if you are part of this class today, try it. Even when we end the class now, keep trying. Wow, it's like this one has hooked so well. Uh, yeah, time is up actually. But just give us, for those of you that want to log off, feel free to log off. But I'll just do another 10 minutes. Let's see whether this will come back to life. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll have to show you this practical with some other machines. So, but please, just so that you can follow up properly, get your Tally installed wherever you get. Just shoot us an email, shoot us screenshots. We might guide you accordingly. Then tomorrow we'll continue with the rest of the practical. It's 5 minutes past 3, and we need to go. Today's Friday, TGIF. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and God be with us all. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining this course. Please join, please connect to all our Facebook platforms, all our social media platforms, and we'll be glad you did. So thank you very much. That's time up for us. We need to stick to time. Thank you very much. For tomorrow, we'll go straight into practicals, please. And